What if you had the perfect SEO and you're still not getting traffic? And maybe your SEO is fully optimized and your quality scores are neutral or maybe even a little positive. We might have another issue on our hands, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. That issue is your conversion rate. You will learn how your conversion rate might actually be overpowering your SEO, and you'll learn what your conversion rate means for the visibility of new listings. And lastly, what should you be doing when it comes to renewing your listings? You will learn all of that today and be able to take it back to your shop and apply it. Let me share the harsh truth. A lot of Etsy sellers think that there is one thing missing in their shop. It's actually about 50 to 100 things, and it's all of them combined and focused on in the right order. And your ability to get found on Etsy, your traffic, that is a prime example of this. Because you could have perfect SEO, perfect pricing, perfect customer service, and maybe you're still not seeing enough traffic. The secret culprit here that not many people identify as having a strong tie to your traffic is your conversion rate. So when it comes to conversion rate, we're looking at two things. First is the conversion of a view to a visit. So how many people had the option to click on your listing to the people who actually did. And of course, the purchase rate, where someone clicks in, they have the opportunity to buy, and they choose to make the purchase. So both of these are conversion rates in a sense. So let's talk about the first one, click-through rate. Are you really converting those eyeballs into clicks on your listings? This is really going to rely on your value proposition, which we talked about with the visual optimization for search in our last video. But what we haven't talked about in that last video was product market fit. Because you could have beautiful photography and a perfect thumbnail, and you could essentially win with your value proposition in search results. You have the best thumbnail and the best price, but your product market fit might still be missing. And missing that will prevent someone from converting from a viewer into a visitor. And essentially, they won't ever click on the listing. I see this happen most often in product categories that require design skills, such as digital or print on demand. You might have done an amazing mock-up, but the design just isn't as competitive. Or maybe the fonts that you're using actually repel your customer. So in a sense, the product doesn't align with the customer that it's showing up in front of. And even if the seller was giving that thing away for free, the prospective buyer still wouldn't click in and want it. So your product itself might actually be killing that traffic conversion rate. And over time, Etsy will rank you lower and lower in search results. And this is simply because you're taking up valuable visual real estate. And there's another part of your conversion rate that can actually drive up a negative quality score. And this is when sometimes you do have perfect SEO and you do have a winning value proposition and you do have product market fit. So the customer you're trying to target, they see the listing, they like it, they click in, but you miss the conversion. Another sign of this is when you're getting a lot of favorites or add to carts, but they don't convert into sales. And what we have to fix here is the friction in the purchasing process. Because if you don't fix this, it is going to hurt your conversion rate and it will take a product that could have been a complete winner for you and turn it into something that completely tanked not just your listing, but the other listings in your shop as well, because it hurts the overall conversion rate of your entire shop. And that is going to hurt your shop's quality score. In order to fix the friction in the purchasing process, we have to tightly align with how that customer shops. We have to understand their buying experiences and how they're used to shopping, what types of options they're used to having and not having. Typically, in this case, we will do a full listing audit in our one-on-one coaching for our students. For some students, we actually audit every single listing in their shop. And every time they create a new listing, they send it to us so we can create them a video giving them feedback. And sometimes we find that key factors are missing that would actually prevent someone from purchasing even if they wanted to. And they could not purchase unless they either did additional research or reached out to you, the seller, for additional information. If you do not have access to myself and my team for listing audits, then I recommend asking a neutral third party and just send them your listing and ask them if there's anything that would slow down their decision making when purchasing the listing, and ask them how quick it is to make decisions within the listing and actually check out. For example, maybe your photos are not linked to your variations. Maybe the color chart or size chart is either not all-encompassing or it is too broad. It has way more colors than the colors you even offer. Maybe the care instructions are not clear or they're missing. And is it completely obvious what the size and the scale are? So those are just a couple things to look at. But in general, I recommend when you first create a listing to make it as simple as possible. So you need to make it a really easy decision for a customer. And that oftentimes means offering fewer choices within the listing. Maybe the first time you put up a t-shirt listing, you have 3 color options instead of 10 color options. Maybe you have 2 font options instead of 6 font options. And we want no complicated variations that require thinking. In the beginning, you really want only no-brainer decisions in your listings. And that will get you the strongest conversion rate right away. And once you've established a strong conversion rate on a listing, then you can start to add in more complicated choices. So how do you know if your conversion rate is good or bad? Well, you see, Etsy will compare your conversion rate to the conversion rate of the other listings in those search results. There's not a black and white answer to this. It really depends on the conversion rate of your competitors and of the market leaders. Conversion rate is also highly correlated to price point. So if you are on the first page of search results for 99-cent digital clip art, the conversion rate you're trying to beat might be over 6%. However, maybe on the first page of search results for $1,000 rings, the conversion rate on the first page of search results might be under 1%. So what we are looking at is the performance of your listing and its conversion rate compared to the conversion rates of other listings that you're sitting next to. So it's pretty simple. Have a stronger conversion rate than the market leader if you want to rank higher than the market leader. And price point really does matter because the more expensive something is, the more difficult the decision can be. If you are under $10 at your listing's price point, you'll want to have a conversion rate that is over 5 to 7%. If you are a listing or product between $10 to $100, then we might want your conversion rate to be over 3 to 4%. If you are over $100 for your price point, you might want your conversion rate to be over 3%. And maybe you're a product that is over $500. Well, then we might just want to get your conversion rate over 1%. And that might be better than the average. So by now, you should have an idea if you have a conversion rate issue that is impacting your ranking in search. And the last part of this is recency. Recency is where Etsy says they want to show the customers new, fresh products. Etsy says here that when a new listing is created, it gets a small temporary boost in search results so that Etsy search can learn more about how buyers interact with it to determine the listing's engagement rate. And they say renewed listings get a similar, though smaller boost. And this is the fascinating part to me. The temporary boost can last anywhere from a few hours to a few days, depending on how often people are searching for a particular item. And Etsy says regularly renewing your items or creating new listings just to get the small boost isn't an effective SEO strategy. Instead, we recommend focusing your time and efforts on improving your tags or working to help increase your conversion rate. Now, the fascinating part is when Etsy says this boost can be as short as a few hours. And we've actually experienced that with one of our students, Dawn. She updated a listing that it was less than 5 views and no sales in several months. Within a couple hours, she sold several and she had several add to carts, which is amazing. And this shows the power of that boost. Now, the key here is not to just renew your listings until you somehow get sales. The key is making the right updates to the listings so that when you do renew it, it's built with the right SEO strategies and it's built to be high converting. Now, if you've made it this far, please comment below with your shop's conversion rate and your average price points in your shop. My team and I would love to take a look at that. So your homework today is to go and look at your shop's conversion rates and your listings conversion rates and to evaluate if these are competitive. If not, then we know what might be adding to your traffic problem and we know where to focus. And if you are struggling with your conversion rate and you just don't know what to do, reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
The month before I started the program, I made $696. The first month after joining the coaching program, I made $4,149, and that came from 133 orders